For the Ducky Tree assignment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Ducky in the same position that the bear is. As I examine this image, what I see is that there is a bear that's peeking around from behind a tree. His body's behind the tree, his paw is in front of the tree. And if we examine this from a layer perspective, in the very back we have the background, which is the snow. Then in front of that we will have the bear's body. Then in front of that we will have the tree. Then in front of that we will have the bear's paw. As we construct this piece with Ducky, it's going to be the same concept. We will have the snow in the back. We'll have Ducky's body as the next layer up. Then we'll have the tree as the next layer up, and Ducky's head will be the top layer. So first I'm going to go to Ducky, unlock, magic wand, take out the background, select, deselect, and move Ducky over. As soon as I get Ducky over, I'm going to duplicate Ducky, and I'm going to lock those two together. So I click and I control click to choose both of them, and I will link them together. So they're now linked. I'm going to name this one head. I'm going to name this one body. On the head layer, I'm going to erase Ducky, everything but Ducky's head. So I'm going to use my eraser tool. And the only critical edge is this edge where I take out his body but leave his neck in place. Once I have that, the rest of it doesn't really matter. It will be covered over by the underneath layer. So we're using essentially a sandwiching principle, but as far as matching the pixels, you have to move over and get the rest of the duck. If it's off screen and you start trying to erase it, it doesn't always work. So now, if I turn on the duck's body, they stay aligned because I linked the two of them together. That's very critical. Okay, hide those two. Turn back on, unlock the background, and duplicate. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to call this one Snow. I'm going to call this one Tree. And I'm going to link them together. So click, control, click, and link them. Now they're linked together. Tree needs to be above snow. Okay, on the tree layer, so I'm going to hide the snow layer, so I'm only working on the tree layer. On the tree layer, I'm going to take out the background, and I'm going to clone stamp off his paw. So you would use better selection tools. I'm going to quickly do this with the eraser tool. So as I'm doing this, we're going to pretend I just did a great job with this, even though obviously I didn't, and that's okay. Because I'm trying to show you how to do things, not make it look pretty. So we're going to pretend I just did a great job with this. So I've got partially a tree, and I need to finish it with the clone stamp. So I'm going to clone stamp, and I'm going to clone stamp off his paw. If his paw wasn't there, I'd see bark, so this is what I want. I'm going to Alt-click. I'm just going to got a little bit of spill over there, so I'm going to go back and re-erase. Okay, tree is done. Now on the snow layer, that's going to be, I need the, when Ducky's in place, he's going to sit right about there. So I need to erase off at least this part of the bear's head and this underneath part of his body. So I'm going to use my clone stamp to do that. Clone stamp, and underneath this would be blue snow, so it's in the shadow. So I'm going to Alt click, and then I'm just going to click and erase. That should be plenty. Let me double check. Yep, that's good there. And then underneath, Alt-click. And I don't care if I cut into the tree or not, it doesn't matter because the tree layer will hide that. So, now, let me just put it all together. So, the far back layer should just be the snow, then immediately above that should be Ducky's body. Then immediately above that will be the tree, and then above that will be Ducky's head. And I now have the Ducky Tree assignment where Ducky's body is behind the tree, but his head is in front of the tree.